To all the people who are waiting to leave the U.S. because they've got a good job and they're making good money and they think that that's going to continue, here's the numbers. In direct tourism spending alone, the U.S. is projected to lose about $30 billion just this year. And that's likely to accelerate, projected to be about $50 billion in 2026. In the new trade agreements that have been put into place by Mexico, Canada, and the EU and Greenland to completely avoid the U.S. market and therefore not deal with any U.S. tariffs, we're expected to lose between $100 and $140 billion in direct trade. We're also expected to lose $7 billion in highway tolls, $3.5 billion in customs and duty application fees, another $1 billion in just visa and paperwork application fees. And that's why they want to put this $250 tax on getting a visa to the U.S. is because they're losing so much money for CBP on all of these other fees. And so when you combine all of that with the knock-on effects of, well, all the people who would have those jobs like dock workers, things like that, their unions lose power, which means that they're going to get massive pay cuts in addition to shift cuts in addition to layoff. That also applies to the factories that we're going to be importing this aluminum to convert it into, like, cars and finished goods in the U.S. Well, those are all going to be built in Mexico and Canada now, and they're just not going to participate in the U.S. market to the same degree. And they will just up their prices in the U.S. and say, deal with it, because they have the rest of the world to sell to. And so indirect job losses, we're talking about 500,000 to a million jobs just in this next upcoming year. And then on top of that, there's also indirect job losses, because there's all the people whose jobs would be funded by those dock workers and the factory workers and the truck drivers and the oil refineries and the ports, and right, all of those people spend their money on housing, on home repairs, on plumbing, on food, on all of that stuff, right? And those people aren't going to be taking vacations domestically. They're not going to be spending their money because they won't have it. So they're estimating a 3-to-1 ratio of job losses, which is 3 million jobs within a year. And so obviously, if you work in like the service industry or just have a good high-paying job, probably not going to be here in a year or two, unless you deal exclusively with luxury clients.